Yes, people, welcome back. Nicardo Media House there again. This is the Morning Insider. Yeah, yet another video. Before we go any further, people, big up on yourself. Let's up to everybody who always tuned into the video, and also the people who live in this on the south side of the US. Coming from Florida, come all the way up, to Jacksonville, Orlando, Savannah, Georgia, South Carolina. Hope everybody stays safe in the next 2 to 3 days. As Debbie is creeping up on the south coast in the US. Next up, I want to talk about some very interesting topics. Mr. Richard Vernon and Edmund Bartlett, yeah, the mayor and the tourism boss in Jamaica, is making waves with some newly development in Montego Bay. And also Damion Lowe, the Reggae Boy vice captain, have received racism on Instagram, which he made some very vicious posts on his Instagram story yesterday in the day. And also local coaches and former youth coach himself, Donovan Ducky and Fitzgerald, talk about the return and possibility of Leon Bailey, and also talk about the new appointed coach, the man himself, Steve McClaren. And also I'm going to talk about the Olympic Games. The big showdown is on Friday. The Spaniard versus the Le Bleu, as they call themselves, the La Roa, I would say, versus Le Bleu. Yeah, and also talk about the Reggae Girls, another youth team, have crashed into another game versus the US under 15 team. I'm going to talk about the 5th edition of the concacaf under 15 girls tournament as well. But people, welcome back. This is the Morning Insider on Nicardo Media House. Good morning to everyone. Hope everyone is having a blessed day. It's Tuesday. Hope everyone stays safe and dry. As I said before, there's a tropical storm creeping up from Florida, coming all the way up north to South Carolina side. So hope everyone is staying safe and dry. But boy, Jamaican football, it's depressing sometimes. You get what I say? It's depressed. I was watching this game, because I had time, yesterday, and I was watching the game between the US under 15 team, the defending champion, versus the Reggae Girls under 15 team in the 5th edition of the concacaf under 15 girls tournament. And I was like, the US, we are in a group with Costa Rica, Haiti, and the US. US have won this tournament 3 times. This is the 5th edition. Nicaragua also won this tournament. So and I don't remember who won it, which country is the next country that won it. I don't remember, but the US defending champion, 3 times, champions of this tournament, powerhouse. How the US have invested heavily in women football in this region. So there's no doubt about it. Coming up against the Reggae Girls, it will be a stiff game with the young girls coming up against the US under 15 team. And to be honest, I stopped watching the game the first 45 minutes. It just feel depressing. You could see the game. There's no structure, there's no organization. I would love for us as a country, as an organization, the Jamaican Football Federation, whenever these youth tournaments are popping up, what is the criteria, what need to be accomplished in these tournaments, what to expect. There's nothing, everything is blank. So what if I wasn't a guy that searching the web, searching and put these dates down on my calendar for say, look, the under 15 girls tournament will be playing in 3 different sections. I think it's in Aruba, in Costa Rica, and in Trinidad. I think the Reggae Girls group is playing in Costa Rica, and we lost our first game 11-0. We saw what happened with the under 20 team with this old bag of quota system. Yeah, we lost the first game against the US 9-0. Then we lost against I think we played Haiti, and I think, is it Haiti? I remember if we played Cuba and then Costa Rica. So you could see that the administration of Jamaican football, they not care not one bit about youth football in Jamaica. They just throw these youngsters in the ocean and just find their way back on land, and a lot of them drown in deep water. So see what's going on, is devastated. But the girls will play also today again. The girls will play 11 a.m. today, which I'm doing this video published Tuesday at 8 a.m. The girls will play 80 at 11 a.m. And you can also watch those games on CONCACAF website. And then on Thursday, they will close out Group A against the host country of this group, Costa Rica. So more likely, you see that game, Costa Rica beat 80. I think they got what, 9-0. People, to be honest, let me just move on from this, because it's depressing. It's depressing to see these girls, these youngsters, men. It's either the young girls or the young boys are getting demolition in these games. The quality is there, but the lack of preparation, the lack of organization, But moving on, in Montego Bay, Mr. Richard Vernon, the mayor of Montego Bay, and tourism boss, Mr. Edmund Bartlett, making waves. The newly formed or upgradement community in content in Montego Bay. They call it the Content Community Center. It's a multi-purpose center that you could see netball, you could see, I think, basketball, and there's talks to build a cricket pitch in the center of the field. And this field, they're looking for future, for the Costa Cup to host, knockout round games at, which neutral venue. So there's more. So you could see that, there's more fields, needed on that side. Look, tourism market is a big, hell of a market in Jamaica. I remember there was this article published in 2023, just after things kind of free up in 2022 after the COVID, Jamaica received around 2.3 million tourism, and in 2023 it increased to 35% more. We experienced, I think, close to around 4 million tourism that came to Jamaica that year, and the money that made of tourism sector, it's over $4.5 billion. To see what these guys did, this community center, we see many community center have built around Jamaica. Even when my days playing at Boystown, the Boystown community center, I went there when it's kinda, it barely did a keep up. But now, they said they're going to set someone, executive, this place have bathroom, kitchen, it's have office. So it's going to be run by someone. There's someone going to be set in place to look over it. So this community center don't run down like the rest of the community center around the country. But this is good. For Montego Bay, we know, what I've shadowed with most of the youth's eyes, the scamming, the violence, all of this, and these things that can save at least 1, 2, 3, 4 youths off the street, and who knows if there can be a club or an academy in the future going to build there. But yeah, this is a good move from the tourism sector. I think it built by let's get the name. It built by TPDC, Tourism Product Development Company. It's 4 acres of facility, and it's have security fencing. As I said, it's also it's going to be there. So you have primary school that have no proper facility to keep their sports there. There's a lot of entertainment, and it can have like treat, stuff like that. So yeah, that's really good. And check out this video, from the same development that's happening in Content Montego Bay with Content Community Sports Center.
We are very instrumental in this as a municipal corporation and local authority. We help with the execution of this project, and I'm sure that the residents there too will love it, and it will help to propel the community even further.
It can help us, well, not me alone, but other young men build their talents and be able to socialize more with other people.
I'm absolutely loving this facility. It's amazing, not just for the youth, but for adults as well.
Looking for what it brings to the community for the youngsters, and I hope that they utilize it and utilize it well.
Big up to all those who made this possible. Thank you so much.
Yes, so moving on, to the Olympic football. Whoa, so La Roja, the Spaniards versus Les Bleus, France, Friday coming up in the gold medal game. We saw Santi Denia versus Thierry Henry, the legend. This Spanish coach, he have won 3 trophies at the youth levels for Spain, and if he go on to win this gold medal coming up on Friday, he will be the most successful coach coaching the Spanish team at the youth level. But the man himself, Mateta, the former teammates, of the team that based in South London, Crystal Palace, Olise, the newly Bayern Munich player, are making waves. Olise has been excellent in this tournament. Olise have created 17 opportunities. I think he had 4 assists in this tournament and 2 goals. So you have 6 goals involvement in this tournament. Mateta is on 4 goals. Look, that game that I saw yesterday against Iraq, the game that Morocco game versus Spain, 2 very good game of football. I could say those 2 games that I watched yesterday, it's a very good game of football. Unfortunately, a very good Moroccan team, they just after just bow out of the tournament. They've played really well, but you could see that Moroccan football, it's on its way up. They make it to the FIFA World Cup the last time out. At least they make it to the semi-final, came forth. Now they still have an opportunity to get a bronze medal, and the support that they have been getting in France, it's remarkable. But moving on from that, the return of Leon Bailey, former youth coach Donovan Ducky talked to the newspaper about that. I saw an article in the Gleaner, where they were talking about, the experience of Steve McClaren, how they're going to bring back Leon Bailey in this team, how important is it, but going on with the article, you guys can see it on the screen right now. Ducky went on and said, might as well they go for Steve McClaren because it's an English-based team, we have, and Leon Bailey will come back because it is a new page, and Steve McClaren will say he has nothing against the player. Ducky went on and also said, the quality players available for the Reggae Boyz, the team only needs a good manager who gets the interference, who gets no interference from above, while pointing to the suspension of Leon Chippy Bailey by the Federation for the Copa America. We know that, I think it's on the article published on June 26th when they came out and said Leon Bailey, suspended until further notice by the Jamaican Football Federation. And, they also talk about, how Steve McClaren going to adapt to the culture. And, they went on and also said, he will do good for us. He is a veteran that is well respected. He understands the English culture, so he will definitely do good. But they need somebody that will manage the team and tactically get it better. The cultural difference will not be a problem. He will get more out of the team knowing that these players are blooded in an English culture. Ducky said it in that article, and I was going on and said, look, previously we have 2 English-based, one play for Jamaica and one born in Jamaica but didn't play, but play for England. Paul Hall himself, John Barnes, the man that who coached the team. I think around 2007, 2008, the guy, I think he has one of the highest win percentage as a Reggae Boy coach, 63. He coach, I think he managed a team around 11 games. I think he drew 4 out of 11. I think I have his record. He have managed 11 match. He won 7 and drew 4 games. Didn't lost a game. And we could say, during that time, I can't remember going back, remember the type of football that John Barnes played. But when, Paul Hall was the assistant and Tapa got fired when we failed to make it to the World Cup in Qatar, you could see a difference in the team. You could see a little harmony, you could see a direction, you could see a pattern, a style of play, but it didn't last too long. Paul Hall and the Federation have followed, news break out that, they want Paul Alto, to give up his QPR job that he was coaching the under 23 team, to take up the job full time. But he know, as a former player, he know all the JFF work. He know at any given time him can lose him job. And guess what? The man at the time see QPR as his bread and butter, his livelihood. But talking about English-based players, Steve McClaren, he must get the job done. One thing, he must come in and try to sort out. One of the few, he needs to sit the federation down. I don't know if he's doing it already, if he did it already, or he reached out to Leon Bailey, but he must know that he must get a star man back in the team, with the performance, with the form that he showed us in the last season of the English Premier League. There's no way, this player should be on suspension for too long. So don't be surprised you see a Leon Bailey in the upcoming game at home against Cuba and against away in Central America in San Pedro Sula against Honduras. But I must say, Steve McClaren, as they said, a very experienced manager. The squad most of the players that start in our starting lineup are from England, born in England, but coming from Jamaican parents or grandparents. But I must say, Steve McClaren, his job, you only have one task, and it's to get the team to the World Cup. But Coach Fitzgerald also went on in that same Gleaner article and said, when I compare, the Jamaican players to Americans, the Canadians and also the Mexican, the top 3 teams in CONCACAF, we have a squad as good as those countries. Also, the English game is not a back to front long ball anymore. Even in the championship, they are putting the ball down and playing it around. Fitzgerald has said, what I have to say about this, alright, Pep Guardiola have came in for the last, since he have pointed over the probably last 5-6 years, 7 years I think, as a Manchester coach. He has revolutionized the whole system of how English football played in the Premier League. Also, teams in non-league trying to play the ball on the floor. But Coach Fitzgerald, Canada, even before Jesse Marsh, under John Herdman, they played some really good football. They're one of the best team in the World Cup qualifiers, on the road to Qatar. Also, Mexico, as much as this Mexico team is way below par, this Mexican team they play the basic. If they're not playing as good as the past, as how Mexican should be playing, or a Mexican team should be playing more fluid football, they are doing the basic. What they're doing, they're running the channels, they putting the ball on the floor, they're making a simple pass, but it's just that the team is not playing up to par, but they are doing the basic. US men's national team, under Greg Berhalter, as much as people relate it as similar type of football, there is no him don't know what him do, like Gareth Southgate, but they are doing the basic. You could see a similar type of pattern of how they want to play. But when you look at this Jamaica team, we can feel between 6 to 8 Premier League players, and then the rest of the starting lineup with championship players. We are not even doing the simple basic. That's what I'm saying. So we understand that the championship is playing at a level, the Premier League is playing at a level, League One is playing at a level. But when it comes on to the players and putting on that black, green and gold, oh my God, I don't know where the hell is really going on. It's like the players forgot to know to play football. There's no system, there's no camaraderie, there's no harmony in our football. You understand? There's no togetherness, there's no preparation, there's no organization. Everything is just stagnant. So I could understand that, we have quality players when it comes on pound to pound, individual talent that can name in our starting lineup in CONCACAF, but we are just not doing the simple basic. If we did not do the basic, look at how we got played in the Copa America. Yeah, look at how we got played in the Copa America. We completely get played off the park, and we didn't do the basic, not for at least 10 to 15 minutes. So I could understand, what he's trying to say, but hope, Steve McClaren can do this job, and hope he do this job to the best of his ability and get us over the line, qualify for the World Cup, and then we can mount a serious overhaul of our football in Jamaica. So yeah, that's all I have to say. Donovan Ducky have something that he have said. Let me go back to that article. Let me get it. He went on and said, if the former coach, Emir Avgrim's intention was to get back and play Bailey, the moment the JFF pulled the plug and said he is suspended from all national duties, the coach is not in control anymore. But accomplished coach will not allow federations to dictate to them, Ducky have said. Remember, I read something earlier, and it also said about interference. So a former coach, that coach in the youth setup, talking about if the coach can do his job without any interference, that means in the past, even maybe talking of experience, people in the JFF interfere with selection, and we have heard multiple reports. It's just that allegedly we can't really just prove some of these stuff, right, because it's not proven out there, but allegedly reports. So many people can't just tell lie that people are interfere with the squad. People in the JFF are pick the squad. And even look at what happened with Emir Avgrims and the Leon Bailey situation. It was just disgusting. Just to see a man of him turn his back on the JFF. With 2 years left back on his contract, and just look. I'm fed up. I can't do this anymore. So I think, even in the article went on and said, hopefully with the Steve McClaren appointment, the JFF will be a lot more professional. And check out, I have a video tomorrow that a coach that's coaching locally, but he's from an international country, talking about the incompetent, talking about the professionalism of the football federation. But with these accusations, as Donovan Ducky is, he's talking about him and Fitzgerald, former coach of I think Umberland and Waterhouse. It's disgusting. We see that, and we heard now from the man himself, Donovan Ducky, that look, there is people in the federation that's interference with the setup of the selection of the national senior team, but not just national senior team. It probably go down to the lower level, under 23, under 20, under 17, under 15. Who knows? And a man himself talking like, look, we don't need any interference. We need a coach to come in and have a clean slate, get back Leon Bailey and full, get him back on page, and look, one Jamaica. Let's get the CONCACAF Nations League sorted out. Cuba at home, Honduras away. It will be a tough second game, but we should take care of business in those 2 games. But it might be like a tricky game in San Pedro Sula against Honduras. But next up, the expansion of the Gold Cup. Talking about that article that provided by the World Soccer Talk. I saw that article, yesterday in the evening, and I was like, we heard. About Egypt, we heard about Senegal, we heard about France, Spain, we heard about some Asian team, I think South Korea, the last national team to represent outside of the Americas region was Qatar, and it was recently when they played in the Gold Cup, I think in 2005, I think it's Senegal or Cameroon, one of them, represent in the Gold Cup also. I think South Korea have represented in the Gold Cup as well. Look, this is all about getting the preparation for US, Canada and Mexico. It's stated in the article that it's want a better tournament, so those 3 teams can get a better preparation for 2026 tournament that's coming up. They will host the World Cup. But I just feel like adding teams from Africa, Asia, Europe, it just will take away the pedigree of the tournament. It's fine if you can invite teams from South America. It's the same Americas region. It's fine. Just look at how that Copa America, where they have a selection, where they have a qualification through the Nations League for those 6 teams from CONCACAF to be not just invite, but qualified to play in the Copa America. It's fine. It's okay. It's the Americas region. But for teams like Spain, remember, it's not just the Gold Cup alone will play in America next summer. It will also be the first edition of a new form FIFA Club World Cup. The Gold Cup will kick off on June 14, and the FIFA Club World Cup will kick off on June 15. The FIFA Club World Cup, all of it, that those games will be playing on the East Coast, and the Gold Cup games will be playing on the West Coast. So you will see a tournament that will overlap each other's. So you could say if you get a Le Bleu, you know, if you get a La Roja, you know, Spain, France, or Egypt, or you know, a Senegal, you definitely going to have players from those nationalities. South Korea, you know, to be who, you know, play for their club team, who qualify to play in the FIFA Club World Cup. You know, if France is there, you know, Kylian Mbappe will be representing Real Madrid in the FIFA Club World Cup. You know, it doesn't make sense. You know, but all of these is all about money. It's all about looking out for the best interest of, you know, US, Canada, and Mexico. You know, when those three teams are really, really good teams in the region, and they have the backing, them have the money, them have the power. You know, the president of concacaf is from Canada. You know, Victor Montiagli, if I'm pronouncing his name correct. Everybody know Mexico is a powerhouse in concacaf, and you know, when it comes down to Gold Cup, it's always in the US. So they always have a say, you know. But I think it's just madness. I think it will take away the pedigree. Keep it to 16 teams. I don't think we have enough quality of teams in this region to make it be a 20 or 24 24 teams competition without, you know, inviting anyone to fill some gaps. But 16 teams is perfectly fine for this region. It's fine. Yeah, we don't have enough of depth of quality. You don't want to stretch the tournament out. You don't want to dilute the quality, you know. But let's see what's going to happen. You know, talks ongoing. We should hear more, you know, by the end of the year. You know, it's catching up on us. We should hear more of what going to happen to the next edition of the 2025, you know, concacaf Gold Cup. But people, you know, next up, the last one I have, you know, the man himself, Damion Lowe, receive racism. You know, Nana, you know, hope it does highlight this thing. Hope this thing, you know, really but you know, them, it's just some dog-head, you know, some bitter fans out there just don't have nothing to do with them life. You understand? I don't think this should bother a player. Let them have their say. But I'm glad they publish it, and with him publish it, then now the Philadelphia Union will be report this to MLS, and MLS will launch an investigation. You know, I tried to look up those Instagram profiles, and it's completely vanished. It's completely gone. So more likely these players saw or heard that Damion Lowe have highlighted their profile on his Instagram story, and they deleted their account. But with police, with MLS, with investigation, those people easily can get caught and bring into investigation. But I mean, no room for racism, but I don't think this should bother the player no way or no cause. You know, then bless up on yourself, people. Have come to the end of the Morning Insider. You know, I'm Nicardo representing for Nicardo Media House. You know, bless up on yourself. Salute out.